How do I know when it's time to hire a VA? Where do I find a VA? What's the difference between a VA and something else? There's so many questions. Good morning.
Good morning.
What we are talking about is outsourcing.
Task conversation.
Outsourcing. So we have so many questions about outsourcing. This one came from Andrea, and she says, what were the first few things you outsourced, or what would you recommend outsourcing as you grew your business? At what stage do you consider getting help with the PMs and sales calls? And so this is really interesting because we work with practitioners and coaches who are at all levels. We have some that are, just brand new and doing everything themselves. And then we have people who are looking for their very first, virtual assistant or support member, team member. And then we have clients who have full teams of employees, multiple people at various stages. And so we're really well versed in this, and it is often a not so hot topic because like anything else, it's not just hire a VA and call it a day.
Totally.
So let's maybe start off with what outsourcing is, because outsourcing is not the same thing as building a team.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. There's a big difference. Yeah.
There's a huge difference. So do you want to maybe talk about the differences between outsourcing tasks?
Yes.
And bringing people in to help you grow?
Yes, 100%. So as you are getting started and setting up and really starting to kind of build your business, at the beginning, you're doing it all yourself, right? You are literally doing every single thing from the time you get up to the time you go to bed that drives the business forward. And so as you start to establish that foundation and you start to grow, you run out of hours in the day to spend your time on in running and at the same time growing and building your business, which is totally normal. So the very first stage of you bringing in other people is outsourcing tasks. And what that means is that you take the things that do not require your brain, that have at this point a set process that is like a conveyor belt, that is step 1, do this, step 2, do this, step 3, do this, step 4, do this. That takes time, but does not require your specific energy. And so that is where you outsource tasks, usually by hiring a VA. So somebody has an expertise in scheduling and posting social media, and you bring them in and you very clearly outline exactly what you want done and how you want it done. And they then carry out the task, right? That's stage 1. As you grow further, you escalate into, we'll go back to the mountain. Now we're at base camp 2. And so now we've come up to base camp 2. And at base camp 2, now, the actual time and energy required to run the business that you've built and also continue growing require other people's brains to come in and take over some of the thinking and some of the areas that you need support growing. And so a really good example of that is maybe, customer service and client success, right? Where you can bring people in who can take on certain responsibilities and don't need as much conveyor belt. First you do this, then you do this, then you do this direction. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. And I think a simple way to think about it is outsourcing is like what you said, take this and go and do it. It's a task. It's a simple, mow my lawn. I outsource the mowing of my lawn. I outsource the shoveling of my driveway.
Yes.
Right? I outsource my cleaning.
Yes.
I outsource that to other people who provide that service.
Yep.
I delegate those things. right?
You don't tell them how to shovel and like how many scoops they should take per.
No, like I'm just going to outsource the entire situation to you. And I trust that you, with your truck and the plow and the whole nine, you can just handle it and you can figure out when to throw the ice. And I don't have to tell you anything. I just want to pay you. And then I want to wake up in the morning and have my driveway clear.
Done.
Right? That's outsourcing, where you're like, here, I want you to make this for me. I want you to edit this. You've outsourced it. It's like bing, bang, boom, bye. Right? And you can do that. You can start with outsourcing tasks. And then when it's time, which was sort of the question, which I'll, get to the answer, which is what Andrea asked, what are the few things that you outsourced, or what would you recommend that you outsource? And so it's a way of thinking about it. I outsourced my tech.
Yep.
When I first started, I hired somebody to do the tech because I didn't know how to do the tech. I understood the logic of the tech and I understood what I wanted. I wanted this built and I wanted it built this way. Yep. And now go and do it. Like I outsource to you. Yes. Same thing as the driveway. Like I want my driveway clear, go and do it. Right. And so I outsourced the tech. My first hire internally was customer service.
Yeah.
I did not outsource. I brought in. So I strongly recommend that we're going to actually do in 2 columns. Maybe this is the better way to do it. You can outsource the tech and the scheduling of the social media and the loading of the emails and all of that technical, $15 an hour tasks type stuff. Although some of your tech's going to cost you more than that. But like those types of like scheduling, link checking, all of that, you can outsource that. You don't necessarily need to have someone sort of internal do that for you. You can hire a virtual assistant who has 30 other clients and they have like a list of like, this is what I need to do for client A today and your client A, and they're going to go and they're going to schedule your social and they're going to load up the emails and they're going to check the links. It's very task-based.
Yes.
Right? Or they're going to build you a lead magnet funnel, or they're going to update your website. You sort of outsource that. So yes, tech would be one of them for sure. You should not be actually doing your own tech if that is something that you struggle with. Some of our clients really enjoy doing it. Like they wanted to learn, they wanted to know so that they could do it. Cool. My first suggestion would be when it comes to hiring, is customer service. We talk about this a lot, and let me know in the comments below this video if you have hired. Have you hired a VA? What did you hire them for? What are they doing for you? I think the more ideas we can put together, the easier it is for others to model what those steps would be. So if you are a business owner that has hired, whether it's you've outsourced your tech or you've outsourced ads, or you've brought in somebody to do your customer service, or you've brought in somebody into your world to support you with content or whatever it is, let us know in the comments below what your experience is. I'm curious. So with customer service, the main reason that we strongly recommend that be your first hire, even if it's for an hour a day, 5 hours a week. And yes, there are plenty of people that would want to do customer service for you, which technically you could outsource that, but it has to be personalized to your business. And I think that's the difference is like, it's not just like schedule social media where like it's the same for every business. This is your customer service. So even if you have a virtual assistant who has experience in customer service, it's not a set it and forget it type situation. There's training involved because you have to train them on your customer service, on your programs, your products, and all of that. Why customer service? Why are we saying customer service should be Can I say customer service one more time also?
I would like you to. Wow. For fun.
It's like, all I'm saying is customer service. As like any other important words coming out of my mouth. Anywho, customer service. Why? Because it takes you out of your leadership zone.
Yes.
You are a leader. You are the expert. Think about it at scale. Think about corporations. Does the CEO deliver the mail?
Rarely.
I mean, maybe if they're that undercover boss thing.
Yeah.
Like, that TV
I think it's safe to say rarely.
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 You know, does the CEO pay the bills? Probably not. Maybe they sign the checks, you know, maybe. Yeah. But like, they don't know how much it costs for the company to like buy paper. Like no. they don't know that. And they also don't necessarily get involved with lower level customer service decisions. So the first thing that I did, which I'm sure saved my sanity, is that I got someone else to do customer service because my soul is tangled up in the programs, the content, and our clients' success. I cannot, despite my trying, I'm an empath, I cannot separate my heart and soul from the complaints, and they would eat at me and eat at me and eat at me because it's like a to the heart, like it's like a stab to the heart when somebody's like, I want a refund, and you're like, why? What's wrong? What did I do wrong?
Yep. Yeah.
And it takes you out of that energetic leadership position where you have to remain, because that is where the creativity flows from. That is where the coaching flows from. That is where the level of expertise flows from. And if you are going back and forth on giving a refund, not giving a refund, that is a lower level energetic conversation.
It sure is. And as you're saying that, I feel like maybe what we should also define for y'all is the things that you hire for last, because that's really what we're talking about here. It's like, where should you spend your energy, your time, your focus as the business grows and it no longer is doable for you to do it all? And like the short answer is the things that matter the most, that actually impact your growth, your success, all of those things are client success, sales, and marketing. So even though so many of you, your first ask is, when can I hire a salesperson? When can I hire someone to do the selling for me? Because it's uncomfortable and maybe like a little bit outside of your, comfort zone of genius. That is actually one of the last things that you should hire for. And I'm sorry also, because I know that's probably not what you want to hear.
Yeah. So what needs to happen is you take all of those lower level tasks off your plate.
Yes.
So that you have more time and energy and bandwidth to do the three things that lead to growth. And actually, it's interesting because we were talking about this specific to like me and my time recently, where I was like, I need to just block out the world. And even though there's a team of 35 plus people now, working the machine,
yep.
I still had too many tasks on my plate, and I need to go into a position of creating now. And there's, not every day is the same. And I just finished a really big project because we just launched a new program. And so I got that done. And now I need to switch gears again. And so the same thing will happen to you. And so you're going to be able to switch gears because you have people supporting you. And so the idea is to hire things like customer service, right? Or hiring some type of admin support position to do those lower level tasks, like accepting members into your Facebook group and welcoming them into your Facebook group, moderating your Facebook group, answering all of your emails and forwarding on the ones that they can't answer to you. Yeah. Tracking all of your metrics for you. Somebody else can do. You don't like doing it. I don't like doing it. I've never done it. All the other people do it. because I'm like, nope, not going to do it. You're going to do it. Right? All of those things that are so critically important, get someone else to do. And then you don't feel like a bad business CEO person because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, and it frees up your time. And so even if that means that you do hire a virtual assistant for 5 hours a week, right? 5 hours a week, let's just say that this person costs, I don't know, what, $25 an hour?
I think that's reasonable.
So that's $125 a week to free up 5 hours of your time a week.
So that's $500 a month.
That's $500 a month for how many hours of freed up time? 20.
Yeah.
20 hours of time for $500.
20 hours that you can now spend on revenue generating activities.
Put that shit on a credit card and let's go.
Yeah.
Like 20 hours. So if you were to take 20 sales calls during that time, okay, 20 hours, 20 sales calls at a 30% conversion, that's 6 sales at $14.97. That's $9,000.
Are
you checking my math? You should check my math.
Your math is good. I'm following along. You got it.
Yo, that's you just spent $500.
That is like actually free money. It's like, here's 500. Oh, I'll take 9,000. Cool. I like that trade.
All day long.
All day.
But instead, that hour a day is spent accepting people into your Facebook group, dealing with annoying customer service emails that piss you off, and, scheduling social media posts.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I'm tired and I'm burnt out and I don't have energy. Yeah. Want to know why? Because you're doing lower level things.
Yes.
Right. And so it's so important to think about outsourcing that way and hiring people to come in and to take those tasks off your plate, even before you can afford it. Before you can afford it. And so customer service / admin would be my strongest recommendation. Then I would say tech. Then I would have a virtual assistant who has experience using the platforms that you use. So that when you want to switch a campaign or create a new sequence or do whatever it is that you want to do, you are not spending 3 hours fiddling with how to make the button bigger on the page.
Yes.
Or how to adjust the font size in Canva.
Yes. Yeah.
Because those are not things that you should be doing. Even if you're making no money.
Yes.
You should have that as a very proud expense.
Here's the disclaimer. You still have to understand the strategy of the tech you are hiring out. You cannot hire out tech and also assume that whoever you are hiring the tech out to has your strategy down pat and is going to get you results using the tech. You have to think of the tech properly, which is a tool to carry out the strategy that you understand and are executing.
Yes. My favorite platform to find really good virtual assistants or contractors is called Upwork. UPWORK.com.
Yes.
Upwork.com. I have hired solid editors who edited my book. One of our full-time contractors, Eloisa, who I think has been with the company the longest, even before Michelle at this point, who lives in the Philippines. She is part of our funnel build team for the 10K online success system. She builds all of our funnels, hundreds. This woman has built
thousands
of funnels.
Thousands.
Yeah. And she came from Upwork. Shane, who just joined my marketing team, who is an incredible video editor, graphic person. I found her off Upwork. She's phenomenal. Does it take a bunch? Yeah, but that is it's very interesting now, like going to hire somebody, specifically when it's
I'm not sure I understand.
Ooh.
Sorry, that was my watch. Siri was like yelling at me. That was like
that
really
actually was terrifying.
outrageous. I like my cheeks are flushed. I was like, oh. Look for skill. When you're hiring for something that is a skill-based position, like tech or social media or whatever, you're looking for skills. But if it's customer service, you're still looking for skills, but it's more of like a culture, personality fit.
Yes.
And so it depends on what you're hiring for, but I love Upwork. I've hired so many incredible people from Upwork to do project work, whether that's specifically for tech or for social or for graphics or for editing or content writing. You can hire somebody to do like X number of social media posts for you.
Yeah.
And you can just pay them a flat rate. You can hire somebody who has experience in customer service to come in and do an hour a day of customer service for you, or schedule social media, or do your metrics and have them go and collect all, like, you know, whatever it is. But what I would say in terms of just sort of a summation is really think about the job tasks that you perform that pull you out of your zone of genius and decrease your energy to the point where it's really hard to get it back. For me, that's metrics and customer service. That needed to get off my plate almost immediately. I did sales. I still do sales, just in a different way. I will always do that, right? I will never 100% release the marketing, because at the end of the day, sales, marketing, and client results are the three focus points that are my responsibility. Everything else in the company is set up for sales, marketing, and client delivery. Client results. Everything we do, from the bookkeeper to the lawyers to the whole nine, everybody that is a part of this is set up for marketing, sales, client results, everything.
Yeah.
So that is my recommendation. If you're looking to outsource or hire people to come in and do some work for you, you know, start with somebody who has experience, and then you'll have to train them on what you want and the way that you want it and your expectations.
That's it.
I'll tell you, from our clients who started at zero, who now have a self-operating company and they're making money while they're in the bathtub or whatever, and they're not doing customer service, like, it changes the game for you. So I'll leave you with this. You don't start with your dream business. You don't start with your dream business. You got to go through the mud to find the right people to journey with you and allow them to support you in growing the company, in growing your business. Because there's going to come a point where your growth will stop because you can't do it all by yourself. And that point comes much faster than you think.